Learn with Tridip. In this particular episode, which is a part of the series, a complete guide of prototyping using Figma for advanced UI and UX designers. So in this particular episode, I will take you through the amazing number of tools that Figma offers you to create your similarly amazing prototypes. In this particular episode, I will only cover the tools, and in the subsequent episodes I will cover colors, grid and guides and other stuffs. But before we deep dive, kindly like, share and comment on this video if you find it really important and can actually give some value in your professional life. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the notifications of our upcoming updates. So let's get started. When I first open the Figma window, this is the Figma interface. It shows the file is still untitled. It's in the drafts mode. In the left hand side, you will see a lot of tools that we currently use. There are, this is a new interface. Previously, you have this comment tool also in the left hand side. So they have segregated the interface in the new version of Figma. So what they have done the essential tools in the left hand side, the sharing related stuff and the prototype related stuff in the right hand side. So the left hand side of the interface is actually where the where you use the tools. The left strip that you see in the absolutely left side of the interface is where the layers actually gets created. If you have some common assets for a particular project, those things also come in the asset sections, and if you are going on adding pages, that also reflects over here. On the right hand side, you have the entire properties. So whatever tool I select over here, based on that tool selection, you will get the properties for the same. Currently there is nothing in the interface, so you can just see the background of Figma interface. So I can change this particular background as well. See, as I drag it down the colors, the interface becomes more darker. Awesome. So let's first check the first tool of the interface, and it is nothing but your move tool. If you see minutely that the shortcut keys of each and every tool are beside the tool description. So by default, if you press V, the move tool gets selected, which is absolutely common in Photoshop as well, right? And just below it we have the scale tool. But before we actually see how it works, let us first click the most important tool of the entire interface, is your second slot, which is the frame tool. So for creating any interfaces, it is all about the frames. If you don't use frames, you cannot create your prototype. So that is the basic bare bone structure of any of your designs. So as I click on the frame, which is F as a shortcut key, you will see in the right hand side you have so many options. So it is for, if you are selecting phones, there are iPhone 11 Pro Max, iPhone 11 Pro X, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 8, iPhone SE, Google Pixel 2, Google Pixel 2 XL, Android devices, which is a generic Android devices. If you want to create interfaces for tablets, you have the entire list of tablets that is there. Even iPad mini, iPad Pro 12 inch, Surface Pro, Surface Pro 4. And if you are creating for desktops, these are all the options that you have. If you are creating presentation, you can have slide size of 16:9 and slide of 4:3, which is the former one. The 16:9 is the HD and the slide 4:3 is the SD. If you can also create prototypes for Apple Watches, you can create for normal print purposes, A4 size, A5. So it gives you a host of all sorts of design things that you can actually create. It is not only UX or UI, it is a holistic creative suite that Figma gives you. So if you really want to create social media posts, you can also do it from here. And obviously the Figma community, plugin icons, profile banner, example. If you are really looking forward to create plugin icons and all these things, you can do it from here. So for the sake of this particular presentation, this particular episode, I will click on the Android device, and you see the Android screen size, which is written over here 330 into 642 size, is actually given to you as the basic frame structure. If you see, there is one particular tool that is there, slice tool, which in today's world has a very little significance, but I will definitely cover it. Many of the many of the YouTubers who are actually covering Figma, they are not actually covering slice, but I will also show you slice, but wait for it. First thing first, we will see the third tool tab is all about shapes. What type of shapes that you have over here? So what type of shapes you have over here? You have the rectangle, you have the line tool, you have the arrow tool, you have the ellipse tool, you have the polygonal tool, you have the star tool, and the last one is very interesting. You can actually place any sort of image within a shape that you define. So pretty simple. If you click on a rectangle, you create a rectangle. Okay, so you create a rectangle. If you see, as soon as I created a shape, immediately my mouse pointer has changed into the move tool, which is very important. So as I told you, move tool is the key. That's the reason it is the first tool, that whatever you do in this particular space, your move tool is absolutely important. So what is the basic difference of scale tool and move tool? So if you see, in move tool I can move the things like this. I can move a rectangle by its side. But what happens if the same thing I do with a scale tool? Let me reduce the rectangle a bit to show you how the scale tool works. If you see, it actually scales through the center proportionally. Okay, so all the sides are getting affected by this. So that is the basic difference of your move tool and scale tool. Okay, just check one thing, that both the mouse pointer during the scale or a move is this type of arrow, this black arrow that you can see. Okay, so be very careful what you have chosen, whether you have chosen a move tool or you have chosen a scale tool. Great. So there are other tools that I will also show you. These are basic line tools. So to draw a straight line, always press shift. So there is the arrow tool, which is shift plus L. Then you have the ellipse tool. By default it is an ellipse. Also if you press shift, so you have the circle. Next I will show you the polygon tool, which is used to create a triangle or multiple side diagram. Okay, So this is a polygon by default, which is a multiple side diagram shape. So I can just click on the circle at the center and I can change the radius of the triangle, the corner radius of the triangle. Over here I also have star, so it is normal star. And another thing I just wanted to cover is that I can also change any particular shape to any other particular shape. So if I want to change something, I double click on this particular shape, and if you see, it has this diagonal lines coming of it and over it, and you can now click and drag the vertices to create different shape. Okay, lovely, isn't it? So these are the type of shapes that you can also create. I will just quickly delete all these things. Lovely. So let me now take you to the last particular piece, place image. So over here you can actually place an image in the design. So you see, it actually takes up the shape of the frame. So what happens actually if I have a polygon shape, say for example like this, and I want to place an image inside this? Very simple, I select this particular shape, go to place image and put this image inside it. Lovely, so simple, isn't it? If you see that it is very easy to now create and change the shape. If I really want, I can do that. Okay, great. So that takes care of your shape. Now there is another very important tool, which is the pen tool, that I will cover over here. So this particular pen tool, it works very similarly like your Photoshop or Illustrator pen tool. If you want to change the direction of the handler, just press shift and click on the center of this pen tool. See how I am creating any sort of shape that I want to. Okay, great. So how I fill color? So I don't want a stroke over here, but I definitely want a fill color. So the fill color is already filled. I take this color, change the color, and I don't want the stroke, so I just turn off the eye over here. Great. So if I want to further change the shape, I can play with the handles in this. So let us now check the text tool. Text tool is extremely simple. You can drag the text area, and if you want to fill up with basic lorem ipsum dummy text, you can just go to the plugins. I already have my lorem ipsum dummy text over here as plugins. I can just click on it and I can just generate, say, 5 sentences. I can reduce this to 3 sentences and I say generate. So over here you can see that this particular thing is generated. If I want to add a header font over here, this is header text, and I can directly go to the right hand side, select font from here, and I can change the line spacing as well. Okay, I can change the font size based on what area I have for me for the design, and I can do the design in whatever way it suits my need. It's pretty simple. You can change the color of the font from here. Is the basic way the every typography you can put in the design, and the basic way all the interfaces gives you. Okay, the last one is hand tool, which actually allows you to move your design, move your interfaces across the screen, because when you have multiple screens, you have multiple frames, you have to arrange them in the design space. So as I have promised, I will show you one particular thing which I told that I will be definitely showing you, though it is of not much of a significance in today's world. I create a rectangle and I place an image. I can just check, right click over here, I can go to plugin and I can just use any image from Unsplash. I say I take this portrait, this image comes over here. Well, great. Now I will just go to the slice tool and I can actually create smaller slices of this particular image. What happens now, I can click and select each slice like this, and I can export each slices as separate PNG files. Okay, so that's the thing. And when a particular interface loads, it loads in smaller slice chunks. So that's the importance of slice. But in today's world, with a better internet speed and all these things, nowadays very few designers actually use the slice to their design. So that's all folks for today's tool exploring. I have not covered, I know it very well, I have not covered certain section of the tools, which I will cover when I will be taking the session of sharing and community sharing, where there will be collaboration, when I will cover the collaboration aspect of the Figma prototyping. So this part of the right part of the top bar I have not covered, which I will definitely cover in future sessions, future episodes. So that's all for today. If you really like this video, kindly like, share in the video, and if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the notification of our upcoming updates. Till we meet again with a new episode, goodbye and God bless.